Cooking food with two dudes. Cooking food for you.
So we're gonna make some buffalo sauce.
Buffalo sauce out of real buffalo.
Yes. This is buffalo's blood.
Mmm.
Made in Texas.
Made as all good blood is.
Buffalo sauce is 2 ingredients.
Ketchup?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Hot sauce and butter.
Hot sauce. What's hot sauce made out of?
It is made out of chilies and vinegar
And buffalo.
and salt and xanthan gum and benzoate of soda to preserve freshness and flavor.
I'm glad we read that.
Yeah. First thing we're gonna do is get the hot sauce in there.
Yeah, you do it. Get it. Get it in there. Get it.
Here, do you want to try?
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna watch.
Alright.
I like to watch.
Usually I have like a big bottle that has a much larger opening.
But
So
you
you're not-
decided to get the little one, so you could just do this for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Steven making a great noise. You're not done. Keep going.
No,
Keep
no,
going.
actually I think I am done. So we're just gonna do about 6 ounces,
Yeah.
which is 3/4 of a cup. Typically, the way most people do buffalo sauce is they heat up their sauce, they melt their butter, they mix them together, and they coat wings or whatever they're gonna do,
Which also come from buffalo.
which also come from buffalo. The way I do it is the exact same way one would make a French sauce called a beurre blanc.
A beurre blanc.
Beurre blanc is French for white butter.
Oh.
Typically, it
This is red.
It is.
So
There's
we're
also-
making like a blanc.
Beurre
Blanc is
rouge.
white.
Beurre rouge.
Beurre rouge.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
rouge is French for red.
Red.
So the reason that it's a beurre blanc or a beurre rouge is because it's a white wine or red wine reduction sauce. Instead of using wine, we're using hot sauce, which is also vinegar based, and vinegar is old wine.
So we talked about reduction before.
Yes.
Talk about reduction again.
Yes,
Because I
so-
don't remember.
So reduction is when you take a liquid and you put it over heat and you cook the water out of it to make a more concentrated liquid.
Oh.
Or reduction. With this, we're not really going to be reducing it a whole lot because
Because it's mostly blood.
hot sauce is more viscous than wine,
Viscous.
so you don't really need to worry about that. But
Right.
while this is heating up, we're going to take a stick of butter,
A whole stick of butter?
a whole stick of butter.
Wow.
You want your butter to be really, really cold. I just got this out of the fridge.
Uh-huh.
A beurre blanc is a semi-stable emulsion.
Oh, now we're using more fancy words.
More fancy words.
What's an emulsion?
An emulsion is when you take two things, usually liquid, that normally do not go together, or you can't mix them, and you make them mix. Like oil and vinegar do not mix.
Why are you chopping up that butter? Why don't you just throw the whole stick in?
In order to do an emulsion properly, you need to incorporate things one ingredient at a time very slowly. This is only a semi-stable emulsion because it will break eventually, but you can actually keep it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours in a warm place without it separating. Whereas if you do it the traditional way, you're going to have it separate almost immediately after you mix everything. Do you understand what an emulsion is yet?
Nope.
Really? So if you were to take hot sauce and you were to take melted butter and you mix them together and you stir it up, the butter, fats, and everything are going to separate from the hot sauce. Doing it this way, it stays
Together.
Stays together.
Instead of the fat floating at the top, the fat stays inside.
Exactly. The
Okay.
fat and the liquid stay one.
Ooh, that's fancy.
We're going to start by whisking the hot sauce.
Okay. And then slowly, painfully adding butter in.
And so a little bit at a time, continually whisking. Again, I turn the heat off.
Because it's too hot in here.
If you had it continually going, it would actually separate. But by adding the very, very cold cubed butter
Cold cubed butter.
slowly, and I'm letting all of this melt thoroughly before adding more. All right, so as soon as all of the butter has melted, you add more butter.
Yeah, more butter.
The more butter you add, the more rich it's going to be.
And the tastier it becomes.
Yep. As you start getting toward the end, you can add a little bit more butter. Because as you're adding this really, really cold butter to this hot sauce, the temperatures are becoming closer to one another. So as the butter heats up, the sauce, it might have been a little too much, but
Oh, it's never too much butter.
yeah, well, now I just have to whisk a little bit harder. That was uncalled for.
Just making my hands clean.
So another thing you could do to this, if you wanted to be spicier, you could always add
More
some.
hot sauce.
No, I would. I
Pepper.
mean, you could.
Pepper juice. I'm guessing. I'm trying to learn.
Okay. Let's say you get some like chili powder. You could also add brown sugar if you like it a little sweet.
Brown sugar. Let's do that.
No.
Oh.
Where this is just a very basic traditional buffalo sauce, butter and hot sauce.
Hey, Banish, I like your idea, but we're not going to do it.
Banish, that was a fantastic idea. In fact, I've done it before, but we're not going to do it right
We're
now.
not doing it today.
Yeah. So if you were to add any of the other ingredients, if you wanted to add lemon pepper to it or anything like that, you'd do that while the sauce is heating up before you add the butter.
Okay.
But the buffalo sauce is done.
What should I do with it?
This would go really well with those blue cheese tater tots we made earlier in another video.
Oh! Way to connect those. So we're going to dip it in the buffalo sauce.
We're two dudes cooking food.